Hello drummers. This is something that I've been thinking about recently. It was recently done by a video by Rob Bryan, um, a good friend. He's very, very good at what he does, and he sort of touched on something that I have been thinking about for a while, and he sort of elaborated it, and I wanted to sort of take my own take on what he did really. It's all about being creative behind the drum kit really. It's kind of odd sometimes. We've all been there, haven't we? When we play a gig and we do like a special fill or we play a groove, and then we're like, I can't remember what's happened. And I think we've all been there with that. So it's just trying to bring that to the forwardness of what we're trying to do as drummers. Me and Rob, we've spoke about this. Since he put his video out, and it's been quite an enlightening thing really, when you break down what drums and drumming's all about. When we look back in history, there's many cultures like the Indian, the Cuban, the African. There's all spiritual stuff behind it, even into like Turkey with like the symbols that were manufactured. There's all this, there's like a spiritual thing that goes along with it. And when you look back, it does make you think. When you're behind a drum kit, things can naturally happen. We've all been there on a gig. I have myself as well. When you play a fill and the band look to you and go, what was that? And you're like, I don't know, where did that come from? I've even had that in lessons, when I've been teaching my students, where you're playing away and you play a fill, and then the student will say to you, what was that fill you did? Can you write it out for me or show me what it is? And I'll be like, I actually can't remember what I just did. And then you try and play it again and it just doesn't happen. So yeah, like just thinking about the drum kit really, how it makes you feel spiritually, and also how you put stuff across. We've all been there, and we've all had moments when we're like, this feels really unlike me sat in the stall, but it's someone else, but it's you playing it. And I think there is a spiritual element to it in some form. I don't know what it is or can touch on it, but it's definitely worth sort of looking into further. Since Rob did the video, it's really made me think about the word of drumming and why we play what we play, how we play it. It plays a massive part really. We all have different types of drum kits in front of us. Some have got electronics, some have got acoustics, some have got hybrid, but we all sound different as drummers. So all sounding different, what makes us all different? Because we all get taught this, we all get taught very similar stickings, we all get taught paradiddles, we all get taught rock grooves, jazz grooves, Latin grooves, you name it. We all get taught the same, but we all play it slightly different. And it's fascinating to see creativeness come from people. I've been looking into a lot of creative music recently. The amazing work of Phil Gould, Ireland-based drummer, Level 42. His album that he did last year, I've been listening to that, and that is worth a listen to. Some outstanding players on it, who are just mind-boggling, but they're artists in their own form, and you can tell it's them on the kit or it's them doing what they're doing. But why is that? How can you do that? It's not through understanding. Like, we're all playing the same sort of sticking, but we all have our way of sounding on the kit. And it's almost like a spiritual element really, that we're looking at. So it's just opening that voice up and being creative. So like, can a mistake also be something that can be used? 100% yes. Like I say to all of my students, don't worry if you make a mistake, because that mistake will actually be right later on. Because we will look at that later on, but in a different format. So yes, we all get taught what I call the mechanicals, and then we branch out from that. But I do think, you know, there is a spiritual element of some sort, not religious. It's not religious at all. It's more how we express ourselves, but how we put music across and be creative, really. Hence why, like, as you've probably seen on videos recently, I've been doing a lot of exploration just on this kit alone. I've had this kit for years. It's a Yamaha Maple Custom Absolute. I got it when I was actually at uni, so it's, you know, it's a fair few years old now, but it's absolutely gorgeous. And it's ideal for this sort of exploration. Obviously I've got a mix of different cymbals around me. Very lucky to be endorsed by Turkish Cymbals, who are great, and they produce some phenomenal cymbals which I absolutely love playing. They're very much reminiscent of that Turkish sound, but also I like to experiment with other brands as well, like we all do. And like on this kit I've got an old 1950s A Zildjian ride, absolutely gorgeous, but it fits this room perfectly. But it's really nice to play on, and there's history behind it. Like all the drummers that have played this before, there's a little bit of history on it, and it's got a crack as well, which gives it a bit of uniqueness. But yeah, it's just experimenting, even with like a cowbell here, which I've deadened right off, wood block, just experimenting really. Yeah, I'm just really progressing myself to sort of getting used to what studio sounds want. That's where I'm sort of heading with my sound in here, because that's an element I want to get into. Always playing the strict stuff. I absolutely love doing that, and that's my day-to-day running. But I want to do creative side as well. So, and that all comes from understanding the drums, why we play the drums. So yeah, that's sort of my take on Rob Ryan has said. But yeah, I'd totally say go and watch the video as well. But it's worth a watch, because it does get you thinking. But yeah, hope that interests you, and yeah, see you all soon.